So, einen wunderschönen guten Abend und auch alle an die, die gerade noch die Aufzeichnung schauen. Wir haben wieder Teamcall und heute einen ganz besonderen mit einem Special Guest am heutigen Abend. Sie wird auch gleich da sein, aber ich will euch sowieso noch mal ein paar einleitende Worte dazu verlieren, wie ich Mina überhaupt auch persönlich kennengelernt habe, wie sich das Ganze so ergeben hat, weil das Ganze in Rotterdam passiert ist tatsächlich. Im Oktober war das, glaube ich, letzten Jahres, als wir die Convention hatten. Und allein deshalb kann ich jedem nur ans Herz legen, sich für Zagreb nochmal ein Ticket zu sichern, zu klären, dass man irgendwie alles für Flug und Hotel organisiert kriegt. Melde dich bei deinem Leader, da sind wir sowieso alles am Plan. Aber das ist wirklich was, was ich jedem nur ans Herz legen kann und muss, weil man einfach da die Möglichkeit hat, die Menschen einfach auch persönlich kennenzulernen und dass eben diese Connections entstehen, dass wir hier heute mit 22 Leuten eine Mina auf dem Call haben, obwohl die normalerweise vor Tausenden von Leuten auf der Bühne spricht oder vor Hunderten von Leuten Teamcalls macht. Ich habe mich tatsächlich auch zwischenzeitlich immer mal wieder in die Präsentationscall von Mina reingesneakt, quasi mitten in der Nacht um 3 Uhr morgens, wenn die das in der Story oder so geteilt hat, um einfach zu lernen, wie sie präsentiert als Beispiel und einfach mehr Value mitzubekommen von dieser Person, weil sie einfach ja extrem inspirierend ist. Nicht nur von ihrer Attitude, nicht nur von ihrem Auftreten, wie sie auf Social Media performt, sondern einfach als Person, wie sie einfach Leadership im Herzen trägt und ja, Value gibt, ja, vom einfach aus dem Herzen heraus, ohne irgendwie einen Mehrwert davon zu haben, genauso wie auch heute Abend so. Sie hat einfach nichts davon, sondern das ist einfach, was sie Menschen gibt und wo sie Menschen weiterbringen kann, tut sie das auch. Und das finde ich wirklich immer ja, sehr bemerkenswert bei Menschen, wenn ich das Ganze sehe und ist da natürlich auch mein Vorbild und genau so würde ich das ja in Zukunft sowieso auch jetzt schon immer mehr praktizieren. Man kann einfach so viel von der Person lernen. Und im Endeffekt habe ich sie auf der Convention getroffen. Da stand sie gerade draußen, war irgendwelche Fragen an beantworten und dann bin ich da irgendwie dazu gestoßen und im Endeffekt habe ich dort dann mit ihr kurz gesprochen. Wir haben Nummern ausgetauscht und im Endeffekt haben wir uns dann tatsächlich nach der Convention, den Tag danach, ähm, waren Johannes und ich noch in Rotterdam. Mina, habe ich gesehen, war auch noch dort. Das habe ich in der Story gesehen und ich habe gedacht, ruf sie doch einfach mal an, ob die noch da ist. Vielleicht können wir noch irgendwie uns treffen oder connecten. Ich habe angerufen und dann haben wir uns im Endeffekt in Rotterdam im Hilton, wo sie dann ja residiert hat, dann noch getroffen auf einen Drink und zusammen uns über verschiedene Dinge unterhalten und unter anderem auch über genau das Thema, wo es heute drum gehen wird. Und sie hat uns da ein paar Sachen mitgegeben und ich habe gesagt, Mina, kannst du das bitte dem Team nochmal mitgeben? Ich glaube, sie hat gerade noch ein paar technische Probleme und wollte den Laptop nochmal hochfahren. Aber ich denke, sie wird jetzt auf jeden Fall gleich da sein. Und genau so habe ich dann gesagt, ja, Mina, würde dir das was ausmachen, wenn du das Ganze, was du uns damals quasi geteacht hast, so ein Stück weit und von mir aus noch viel mehr und alles, was du grundsätzlich noch teachen willst, kannst du das Ganze hier auf dem Teamcall machen. Und ja, sie hat ja gesagt und deswegen haben wir das Ganze jetzt hier so vorbereitet und ich bin unfassbar froh und dankbar, dass sie sich die Zeit nimmt. Tut euch und tut Mina den Gefallen, macht die Camps an, wo es möglich ist. Ich weiß, Tati ist gerade unterwegs im Bus noch irgendwo, wo es nicht unbedingt funktioniert oder so. Alles in Ordnung, aber da, wo es funktioniert, macht doch einfach die Camps an und vor allem holt euch was zum Schreiben, denn ja, was hier reingeht, geht sonst da wieder raus. Und ja, ich würde sagen, ich switch jetzt auf Englisch, weil Mina ist im Call auf jeden Fall drin, ist auch schon Co-Host. So I will switch to English. Thank you, Mina, first of all, for joining this call, for taking your time in front of, yeah, I think just 30 people. But yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here on this call. I appreciate you a lot for all this leadership you are doing, not only as an SMX educator, not only as a, I don't know your actual rank, I think a Platinum 5000, But yeah, you are serving great. I saw a lot of presentations at night here German time when you do it for your team. And I know you are speaking every time from your heart. You inspire people. You have so much knowledge in many different topics. So you can talk for hours here and give value for hours, but especially for the topics we choose for today. So I want to welcome you here. I think I have said enough. Let's share some love in the chat and give Mina some energy for this call, and especially for our people here of you. I know there are also some visitors here or from other teams, or I don't know. Take your questions, and we do in the end a Q&A. So you have the opportunity to ask Mina your questions, and we are in a small group, so maybe you can unmute yourself and ask your question to Mina directly. It's an unbelievable opportunity, and not many people will have this. So let's not take it for granted. Take your questions, and yeah, Mina, you are ready. You're a co-host. Let's get this done.
Let's go. Thank you so much. Is it Timon?
Timon, yeah, Timon.
Timon? Okay, I was like, how do I pronounce this, guys? How do I say it? Guten Abend an alle. Does that sound good? What's going on, guys? I've spent quite a few trips in Germany. I absolutely love you guys. I love the women. The women in Germany absolutely have my heart. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. And I want to really just give it back to Timon, because there's not a lot of leaders that do what he's doing. It's very selfless to allow somebody else to come and train your team, knowing that you can put them in a better position by listening to somebody that's more niche down on a topic than he is. That is a level of leadership that you really don't find, especially in network marketing, where everybody is scared of somebody stealing from your team or cross recruiting or whatever the case is. To have a leader like him put together a call like this, guys, you don't understand how hard it is to get me on a call, especially on Sunday, like to make it through my DMs, to wait for an answer, to then WhatsApp me, to call me, to book it, to make the flyer, to have you guys promote. Like, he did so much. So if you can, and if you're willing, go ahead and turn on your cameras. I'd love to see everybody's faces. I know what I'm doing when my camera is off and I'm on a call. I'm not paying attention. I'm not really there. I'm not going to be here for that much time. So I'm not going to take up too much of your time. But if you're on this call, be on this call. Be present on this call. Take notes on this call. Because if you're not, then hey, me and Timon, we're okay with having 5 people on this call, as long as those 5 people are committed, as long as those 5 people are listening, as long as those 5 people are here. He told me, he's like, Mina, listen, there was a confusion. There was supposed to be a lot more people on this call. I don't know if you'll still do it. I'm like, I don't care if there's 1 person on this call. I don't care if there's 2 people on this call. Those 2 people could be a Matt Rosa and an Alex Morton that are getting ready to change the world. And if I have anything to do with that, then I am super happy. So like Timon said, I'm going to give you guys a training today on how to build relationships online. I'm going to give you 8 things that you should be focusing on how to build relationships online. Because at the end of the day, don't focus as much on the social platform as much as you focus on the people actually using it. Okay, get out of this headspace that you're focusing on Instagram or focusing on TikTok or I'm focusing on Facebook. No, we need to start changing the narrative to who it is that you're focusing on, not what platform you're on. Yes, does it make a difference when we're speaking demographically? 1000%. If you're looking for an older group, Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're looking for a in the 20s going into the 30s like me, Instagram is your deal. And if you're going for something a little bit younger, maybe the 18s to the early 20s, TikTok is going to be your place. But aside from that demographic, it's time to think about who it is that we're focusing on, not where we're focusing on it. Okay, so that's one of the things that's helped me a lot, because how many of you guys have been stuck on a niche or trying to find a niche? Or is lifestyle a niche? Or is fitness my niche? Or is Instagram, is fashion my niche? Is lifestyle, is trading, is I am my niche? I'm going to tell you guys right now, don't focus on your niche. Do not focus on your niche. Stop focusing on what to post and start focusing on who it's for. Does that make sense? Because once you start thinking about who this content is for, who I want to see this, who this is going to help, you're going to find your niche. Or believe it or not, your niche is going to find you, because you're going to see, hey, listen, when I talk about value, I get more engagement. When I do like hauls, I get more engagement. I'll give you guys a perfect example. Who here knows I travel a lot? It's part of my life. Like, my name is literally Mina Moves. I'm always on the move. And you know what the craziest thing about it is? Every time I post lifestyle videos on my Instagram, they don't do good at all. Like, when I just recently posted a video of Italy that I thought was gorgeous. The scenery, was one of the trashiest performing videos that I've put out. It didn't perform. Why? Because my audience is waiting for me to give them value, not pretty pictures. When I post, just like, there's a difference between posting me with my makeup done and then me telling you what I use to do my makeup. That's the difference in content. It's like people want what they can take, not what they see. People want to be able to take something from your page, right? So we, knowing how consumerism is, what do people always think about? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? What do I get from following this person? What is she giving for free? What does she have to offer me that I'm not getting by myself? Right? So that's kind of like the preliminary thought process that I want you guys to start thinking about. It's not necessarily about, oh my God, everybody is posting gym videos, so I'm going to start posting gym videos. Everybody's posting fashion hauls, so I'm going to start posting fashion hauls. Everybody's doing this, so I'm going to do that. Because if that's the case, then you'll always be chasing a trend instead of creating one yourself. And when you're constantly chasing a trend, right, you're always going to be one step behind. We want to be creators, not followers. And guess what? You're going to find out the more that you post what your people want. That's why you can't copy my strategy, because my audience is not your audience. And now if I would have taken that Italy video and posted it on somebody who only does travel on their page, it probably would have blown up, because that's what their audience likes. Remember, engagement is not about how good the video is. It's about the people that engage with that shit. Does that make sense? Like, you can have the best video if nobody's engaging to it, because it's not entertaining, because it doesn't give value, because they can't take anything from it, then it's not going to do good. You see, people are still focused on likes and followers, and I'm daring you guys to focus on the shares and the reposts. Like, what's going to cost somebody to share that piece of content, and what's going to cost somebody to save it? Think about it. If you put like and I'm using like women things, obviously I'm a woman, but I'm saying for you guys, for you men, like, if it's, you know, shoes, if it's cars, if it's day trading, whatever that is, you're going to find out what your people like you to post. But you have to start posting it for the people, not focusing on what the content is, but who it's for. Because if you focus on what the content is and not who it's for, you're never going to post. because you're never going to know what to post. You're going to be like, is this good on my page? Is this not good on my page? Is people going to like it? Are they not going to like it? No. So if you are on SMX, I would highly, highly, highly recommend you go watch one of my videos that's called Target Audience. And it's how you bring about not just people, but the people that you want. Okay, so how do you do that? Very quickly before I start to give you guys some more tips on building this is just the pre, by the way. I haven't even started with the tips yet. I just need to get you guys in the right state of thinking, right? When you're on social media, right? And you're trying to convey a message, it's important to think about who's going to be receiving the message, right? So if you have a team, let's say you have a team, different people receive information differently. Would you guys agree with that? Like some people, like there's people on my team where I could be like, bruh, what the hell? What is wrong with you? And I could be aggressive and they're like, I know, Mina, and they'll take the kick on the butt. And then there's other people that if I want to get my message through to them, I have to be a little bit more sensitive, because my priority is not saying it how I want to say it. My priority is saying it however best they'll receive it. Right? So always thinking about the consumer in hand. So when I draw out my audience, and this is something that I want you guys to write at the top of your page, it's like, who are you trying to attract? Who are you trying to work with? And then we're going to talk about what their dreams are, what their likes are, what their wants are, what problems are they facing. I want you guys to start thinking about all this stuff. What is, like, for example, my target audience is obviously network marketers. I don't care if you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you're a sister, I don't care. I like network marketers. I don't want to deal with having to teach people how to communicate. I like people that understand that we're in the second largest profession in the world. I like people to understand that there's multiple ways of making money in the digital world. Like, I want people that already know that there are other I'm not worried about dealing with people that still think that the 9 to 5 is their way out. Good for you, not my target audience. Okay. I also want to deal with a lot of women. I want to deal with a lot of moms, and my age group is 25 to 45, right? A lot of these moms are either single moms, some of them are even divorcees. They're dealing with specific struggles. So when I'm writing out this persona and I'm drawing out this character in my head, I'm starting to think, okay, what does a network marketer dream of? They dream of recognition. They dream of respect. They dream of retiring their family. They dream of, you have the wants dreams, and then you have the dreams, like the physical wants, and you have the emotional wants of a network marketer. What are some of the problems that a network marketer faces? A bad compensation plan, old outdated software, a back office that doesn't work, maybe the lack of having a computer, maybe the lack of having a community around them, maybe having no mentors. Like, you see how I'm coming up with all of these things? Each one of the things that I'm saying is a topic and a video and a piece of content that you can make addressing that problem. So work from the person outward, not the content inward. Find a problem, then make the video solve the problem. So if you go on my videos, you notice that I start talking about people labeling themselves, because we do that a lot in network marketing. I talk about self-sabotage, because in entrepreneurship, that's one of the biggest things that we deal with. I talk about imposter syndrome, because that's something that we deal with a lot. So I'm finding these problems that I know that this specific demographic is going through, and I'm making content that allows them to see a way out. Okay, so now we're building community. So now that you guys understand where my thought process is at every time I go to create a piece of content, I want to leave you guys with 8 tips that build authentic relationships on social media, because that's what we're trying to be, is authentic, right? And if you're trying to build authentic relationships on social media, that's great news, because honestly, it's not the fact that I'm a pretty girl. It's not the fact that I have tattoos and I'm a little bit different. authentic relationships, like the reason why I have 255,000 followers, the reason why I have the engagement that I do is because these same people that you're seeing engaging with my page were here 6 years ago when I was broke. They were here, they've seen the journey. They were here when I was a single mom. They were here when I was a bartender. They were here when I was going online and showing them, like, I'm over this ish. I'm tired today. Nobody wanted to tip tonight. Like, I was still being authentically me. Like, I never hid the struggle. I always was authentic to myself. If I didn't have it, I didn't have it. There was days where I would wake up the next day and I'm like a people person and I'm a gift giver. So I'll be at the club and like I'll finish working and at the end I'll buy everybody shots of 1942 and the next thing you know, I go home and I'm like $300 late on my rent and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? Like, priorities were all messed up. And I would talk about it. Like, how many of you guys are dealing with priority issues? How many of you guys don't know how to say no? Because like your girl's right there with you, man. But anyways, I'm clocking back into my shift. Talk to you fuckers tomorrow. Like, that's how I was on social media, which is the same thing that I do now. It's just my life is a little bit different. Right. So it really is the bread and butter of social media, because what's the point of having 500,000 followers and then I click on your page and every single video you have has 15K? What's the point? I know people that have 250,000 followers and every single video that they create has 10K, 20K, 50K. That's not okay. That means that you built a surface level community. You built a surface level community. It's not bad, but you're not making the most out of it. And this is a lesson that I learned the hard way, right? So over time, I've learned that there's a lot that you can do simply just by focusing more on building relationships than anything else. And I've had a lot of success come my way because of it. Okay. And if you're still not sure how social media and relationship building even work together, the 8 tips that I'm going to give you right now are going to set you off in the right direction. Okay. So, number 1, you've heard it. I don't care. I'm going to say it anyways. Show up consistently. Now, I'm going to give you an example. I want you to think of consistency as the backbone of building a relationship on social media. I want you to think about your best friend, Ricardo, Milan, Adela. What if you told your best friend to pick you up at the airport at 2 o'clock? And then she forgot the first time. You let it go. No big deal. You took an Uber. And then the next time you're like, hey, sis, I'm going to land at 4. Can you be there? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to be there. And then she doesn't show up again. What do you think is going to happen to that relationship? What if your boyfriend does that to you? What if your girlfriend does that to you? They say, hey, I'm going to show up, get dressed, and then they don't. They say that they're going to give you value and upgrade your life, and then they don't. They say that they're going to show up for you and do it, but then they don't. What type of strain do you think that that's going to add to that relationship? Online is the same thing, guys. There's people behind that phone that are waiting for you to post something that can change the way that they think. You can't expect to make friends, build relationships, have a healthy relationship with anybody in your life if you don't show up. Why? I'll give you one main reason. Because inconsistent present makes you hard to trust. That's it. You want to know why people tell you be consistent? Because if you don't, you're hard to trust. I don't know. It's giving me fugazi vibes. It's giving me false vibes. So it makes it makes it difficult for you to leave a memorable impact on your audience, because it doesn't matter how much good you do. How many of you guys know that it takes 1 second, one bad thing, one bad post, one time you saying you're going to do something and not do it for somebody to lose their trust in you? Yes or yes? on social media is the exact same thing. Think about it like this. When somebody is clicking that follow button, they're choosing to be in a relationship with you. They're choosing to be in a relationship with you. They're choosing to accept you in their conscious mind. They're saying, Mija, I want to see what you have to post and I want to hear what you have to say. That's important. How many people do you guys ignore every single day? So for somebody to take the time and say, yes, I want you on my feed, I want to follow you, don't you think that you're indebted to them to give them something back? And if you're not giving them something back, then they don't need to always follow you, right? Because the same way they follow, they can unfollow. If you're not showing up for them, why should they show up for you? So rule number 1 is to show up daily. You can't set up an online poster, meaning get the Later app that posts stories for you, that posts feeds for you. If you're at work from 9 to 5 and you can't be on your stories, well, set up your story post the day before. There are many applications that can help you do that. Okay. Having that said, hop on the network yourself, which brings us to the next tip, right? Tip number 2, engage. So many of us post, sit back, and wait for the comments to just flush in and wait for the love, wait for the affection. You want me to tell you how I really went above and beyond to build long-lasting relationships on social media by doing one simple thing? And it's something that nobody does. Like literally, none of you guys do it. When you post something and people comment, you've heard of people telling you like and comment back, right? Now I want to dare you to go above and beyond for your followers. When somebody goes on your post and they comment, you're going to like it, you're going to comment back, and then I dare you to go on their page and actually share some love back. How about you go and like 1 or 2 of their pictures? How about you go and comment on one of their pictures? Instead of just increasing your comment count on your picture. They went out of their way to click on your picture, to like it, to comment on it. And all you could do is comment back, yeah, thanks. What? Yo, that one step has given me so much retention. Doing that when I was small and I was growing made people feel like I genuinely, you took time out of your day to go make them feel important too. Remember, Instagram is not a television. It's a telephone. It's a dialogue. It's a two-way street. A relationship takes 2 parts. How many of you guys heard it takes 2 to tango? Okay, it takes 2 to tango. Right? So showing up for them as much as they show up for you. Showing up regularly is just one aspect of consistency. What is the other aspect of consistency? Engaging consistently. You need to start leaving meaningful comments on other posts. Respond to anyone tagging or mentioning you, as well as address the comments on your post. This way you can tell people, hey, I'm active. I'm reading your stuff. I'm engaging back with you because I appreciate the level of effort you just gave to me. You know what this is called? You know what I'm teaching you guys right now? It's called the principle of reciprocity. It's the principle of reciprocity. It is the psychological urge that encourages people to return a favor. Did you guys know that? You ever felt like you owe somebody something because they went out of their way for you? That is the principle of reciprocity, and it can happen online. It can happen online. Yeah, I'm going to answer all the questions. I'll drop all the apps at the end. Number 3 is be yourself. Be yourself. Like, stop trying to copy me. stop trying to copy each other. Like, I'd rather be a middle class original than an excellent copycat. I'd rather be a middle class original than an excellent copycat. This means you write like the way you talk. Stop trying to add perfect grammar if you don't talk like a robot. Stop trying to, like, the more human you sound, the more people can connect with you. However, a word of caution, because every time I give this trick a tip, it goes above and beyond. Being yourself doesn't mean you make your social feed all about yourself. Does that make sense? I said be yourself, not be about yourself. What's in it for me? That's what people think when they're on your page. So if it's you, a picture of you, a picture of you, picture of your boyfriend, picture of you, another picture of you, another picture of you, and the only thing you're changing is your captions, it ain't it. It ain't it. You're not a celebrity. You're a community builder. You're not a celebrity. So instead, being yourself means that you show certain aspects of your personality and the way that you interact with other people. So you find like-minded individuals. If you ever, I know we're recording right now, but if you're ever on like a team call of mine, I sound like a sailor. I'm like, I don't give a like, I speak the way that I speak. I don't care. I'm not going to change for anybody. If you don't like the heat, get out of the kitchen. Like, if you can't see the value over a few F-bombs here and there that I drop, then hey, we're not aligned. That's okay. There's 8 billion people that will be perfectly fine with me dropping an F-bomb here and there. And guess what? They'll still get the value. That's okay. Right? People are like, oh, Mina, but you changed, but you stopped smoking on social media. I'm like, the only reason why I stopped smoking on social media is because I stopped smoking, period. Because if I was still doing it, you'd still be seeing it on social media. And that was a personal choice. Everything that I did, I've been honest about. I've never hid anything. And I'm not, people were like, oh my God, you're a mom and you're so loud about smoking. I'm like, yeah, some of you guys are moms and you should be worried about your OnlyFans pictures that are going to be out when your kid goes to school. You're worried about me smoking, but you got an OnlyFans account. Funny. Please, like, don't start with me, home girl. I'm the wrong one. So I'm saying I've always been myself. I'll always be myself. Right? But that's not what I mean about be yourself on social media. Be yourself, not all about yourself. There's a difference. Okay? Let's get away from the selfie after selfie after selfie after selfie and a friend and a selfie and a group and a selfie and no, that's not what people want to see. Okay. Number 4, talk about what interests you as well as your audience. You have a voice, so use it. Caution, stay away from politics and religion. Like, just stay away from politics and religion. Yes, you could hate Trump. Yes, you could be in favor of LGBTQ. Guess what? None of these things are going to favor your business, and your platform's your business. So you keep those two things separate. So just stay. It's not like I don't have an opinion about those things. I do. It's just I'd rather not talk about it on a global platform where my words could be used against me. My image is important, just like yours is. So I just stay away from controversial things. My purpose is to help people on social media. It's not to argue with them. So I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm arguing with people. Okay, I do that on my threads. On my threads, me and you can argue all day. On my threads, I be dropping things that if you haven't been on my threads, just I'm gonna apologize right now for the things that I say on behalf of my threads account. It's not me. It's I don't know. It's Mina late night. Okay. I know threads not available in Europe, but when you guys get, it's like a Twitter, so you guys know what I'm saying. So talk about your interests, right, as well with your audience. Like I just mentioned, don't make your feed all about yourself. So think of it like this. Why would anyone be attracted to your social profile if there's nothing of interest for them? They wouldn't. There's a million pretty pictures. There's a million pretty girls. There's a million guys telling people that they can. There's a million of them. So talk about what interests you as well as your audience. The sweet spot gives you content that you like to talk about and offers your followers value too. So if you're looking to post a piece of content, those are the two boxes it needs to check. One, I like this topic, and two, it is valuable, meaning I agree with what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about it because it's a trend. I do believe in, overcoming objections. I do believe in productivity. I do believe that you can start a business with $100. Like, I do believe these things, right? So as long as you believe in them, okay, and it offers value, then talk about it. Talk about it, right? Number 5, give up the perfect, like the picture perfect image. Give up the picture perfect image. Building relationships in real life is a lot about being real, isn't it? Like, isn't it? When you do go into a relationship, like, okay, today I'm gonna be this person. Like, I'm gonna act this way towards my best friend. Like, no. Well, turns out it's much the same on social media. You don't have to worry about putting your best foot forward all the time. Instead, you can be a human. You can go ahead and make mistakes. You can be vulnerable. You can talk about what worries you. It's okay to go on your stories and be like, guys, I'm worried. Like, y'all don't see the price of everything going up. Like, if you're already tight on your money now, what's going to happen 5 years from now, where things are even more expensive? Like, you could talk about being scared and things like that. You can set a tone to be vulnerable, or what lessons you learned from an episode of failure. Like, I love talking to people about, like, hey, listen, this is what happened and it wasn't that good. Like, if I'm trying to talk about something that really didn't happen about, or it really wasn't well that happened to me, here's how you can make sure that you don't become a Debbie Downer, right? Don't talk about your negative situation until you came out of it. That's just like the golden rule. Like, unless if you're just talking about a negative situation, you're going to set yourself up to just be a Debbie Downer. And then you're going to repeat more of that situation because now you're programming it into your subconscious mind. So you can talk about your failures as long as you got out of them. And now you're here to be somebody else's guidebook. You see, what saved you can save someone else. But you got to save yourself first. It's like what they say in the airport, in the airplanes. Put your mask on first. Okay, social media is not it's not your therapy. It's a way where you can show up for others. And if you want to be known on social media and you want to have a voice and you want to be known for others, the first person you got to change is yourself. And the good thing about Instagram is that you can always and forever be changing and showing people that you're growing. Like, hey, today I woke up 30 minutes earlier. 6 months from now, I hope to be waking up at 6 a.m. And then a year from now, this is my weight goal. And I'm going to be eating eggs. Like, you can still progress as a human being and do it openly in front of people. You can do that, okay? Because it inspires people. People are attracted to a positive outlook. Like, I don't know what other way to say it, but don't keep complaining around the clock. That's no way to attract your audience. Like, people, I see some people that like to attract audiences just by talking on negative topics or like negative trending situations. I'm just like, bruh, we got CNN for that. Like, we got the TV, we got the news, we got the reporters for that. We got the fucking president for that. Like, I don't need to go on Instagram. And I've told millions of people this, and I'm sure I've lost some friends over this, where I'm like, dude, I'm so particular with who I follow on social media because I like to control what I see and what I hear. And it's like, it's not that I don't love you, bro. I love you, Ricardo. I do. I'm still your homie. It's just, I'm at a place right now in my life where I cannot afford to slip up, right? I cannot afford to be called outside because I'm vulnerable right now. Okay. I'm trying to change my life. But if you call me and tell me there's tequila outside, I might just come. So, in order for me not to put myself in that situation, I'm going to remove myself from it. Same thing with social media. In order for me to, if I'm going into a new era of my life, if I'm going into, this is the time where I'm going to start to become the person that I want to become 10 years from now. What's the first thing that you have to do? You have to protect the things that you let into your space. So you can still be friends with these people and not follow them and only follow the things that are beneficial to you. That is okay. And if your friend or family member can't take that and do some introspection and be like, damn, let me go on my Instagram. Let me see what she's talking about. Do I really have something going on? Oh no, I really don't. I'm always partying about, or I'm always posting about partying. I'm always like, if they can't do that introspect, then you don't want that person as a friend anyways. Really, like just let that person go, because that person, a friend would say, you know what? I get it. You're vulnerable. I don't want to knock you off your discipline. I don't want to knock you off your grind until you get a little bit stronger with what you're doing. Then we'll link up again. But for a long time, there's specific girls that I could not hang out with, because every time I hung out with them, I'd end up dropping like $5,000. Remember, I live in Miami, so prices are different over here. Okay, I'm like, bruh, what is this? And then I'd wake up the next day tired, hungry, low-key depressed because your serotonin levels drop after a night out. Like, that's not what I want, right? That's not what I want. So give up the perfect image. You can still be real on social media. You still have control of what you post on social media. Being vulnerable is different than showing everything. There's things that you guys will never know about me. That's okay. Okay, but be vulnerable with what you can be vulnerable about. Number 6, share behind the scenes content. This is so important. Everybody loves to see the cake, but everybody's obsessed with seeing how the cake was made. Tell me no. Like, why do you think ASMR is so poppin'? Like, think about it. We're just hearing things go, shh. Like, why is that so entertaining? Because it's the process. Because it's the process that attracts a human being. It is not the end goal, because the end goal could be faked. The end goal could be edited. The end picture could be construed, right? But if I see the process, you're giving me reality. Yes or yes? And that's what human beings subconsciously like. We like being able to be a part of the reality, the real, like the mess ups. Like, why is it when we watch SMR, the messier it is, the more slapping around and throwing the pens, because it shows us this is real. This is real, right? What is ASMR? It stands for, I don't know, but it's when you hear here, let me get you like the actual, like, what the word actually means. Autonomous sensory meridian response. So this response is built into us, right? It's on the scalp and it moves to the back of our neck and our spine. Okay, and what that does is that it allows us to be triggered by either audio or visual stimuli. Like, it can give you goosebumps, it can give you tingling sensation, it can give you static. So that's a response that us human beings are actually built with. Like, that's why it's so good. Okay, so that's what behind the scenes kind of gives you. And I've always found that behind the scenes content works wonders. Why? Because again, people love to see what goes on behind closed doors. Okay, people are nosy, they want to see what's behind door number 2. Like, you had a good week, talk about it. You're working on a new blog post, or you're applying to a new job, share it, right? And best of all, like, share the lessons that you learned along the way. let's say you went through a breakup or a recent job interview and they didn't call you. Make the most of it by sharing what you learned, what you didn't learn, what you would do different, what you thought it was going to be like, what caught you off, like offside. Do you see where the value is coming into this? Like the more relatability, the more personal it is. And number 7 and 8, I'm going to put these two together. Number 7 is share interesting content, meaning don't just repost. Take time to make your own stuff. Okay, if you don't know how to make your own edits, I'm going to drop a page for you guys down below that I want everybody to start following. This individual has taught me how to edit more than any other person, I think, ever. Where is he at? He just changed his name, so okay, beautiful. So I want you to follow him. The good thing about him too is, I mean, everything about him is amazing. So his name's Stephen Womack. I dropped his name down below. And we're just going to watch 1 or 2 videos real quick so I could show you guys how important it is to learn how to edit your own videos, because it really isn't that hard to make your page seem really, really cool. So, and the best thing about him is obviously that he gives you the 1, 2, 3 step by step. Okay.
This wide angle selfie video is popping off on Instagram right
Okay,
now. Check out this dope. This wide angle selfie video is popping off on Instagram right now. Here's how to do it with your phone. Let's go. Find a nice location or wear an interesting outfit. Choose the wide angle video mode on your phone and point it towards your toes. Slowly move down and then turn your hand while circling back up with your arm. Quickly point back at your toes and that's it. This
like,
wide angle
yo,
selfie
easy.
video
Easy.
effect.
They make it look like it's so intricate, and it's not. Like, I want to show you guys,
Check out this dope front.
like, even things that are very
This dope motion blurred transition effect.
complicated
Take
looking.
around 4 to 5 pictures
Okay.
of you. And check out this dope motion blurred transition effect. Here's how to do it. Take around 4 to 5 pictures of you in different poses. Now open these photos in the CapCut app and they will create a slideshow next to each other. Shorten these photos down to around 0.3 seconds.
He even tells you the
Play your hand
seconds.
playing back much quicker. Export the slideshow to a video, hit done, and then open a new project, selecting exactly this slideshow video we just created. Now all we have to do is scroll over and select motion blur and boost that up. Take that as high as you want, but I think around 80 is perfect. Now the motion blur is being
Now
applied.
watch.
Export the video and that's it.
Got it. You see, like, guys, resources. Resources. Like, thankfully, I have the resources and the ability now, after 5 to 10 years of creating content, where I have somebody to do it for me. Okay. My time is well spent on doing other things. But prior to that, I had to learn how to do everything. I had to learn how to edit. I had to learn how to, and it's good because once you learn it, it's yours forever. Nobody can take it from you. It's a skill set that you have, right? So I just wanted to give you guys that as like a little bonus, to show you guys how easy it is to make quality videos and start having these people engaged so that you could start building relationships with them. And last but not least, before we get into some questions, is to support other people, bro. Like, support other people as you do in real life. Now, how would you support others on social media? Well, there's a lot of ways to do so. Retweeting them, sharing their content, reposting them, read what they post and comment on it. Like I said, go that extra mile, go on their page, respond back. If there's any post questions, right? Like, have people or drop calls to actions on the bottom of your post and ask people like, hey, have you ever dealt with this? If you have, tell me down below. And have people want to share their situation with you and help them solve their problem in the best way that you can. You know, some of the things that I tell people all the time, especially when we get on calls like this, is, hey, listen, I'm not here to tell you I'm a miracle worker. And especially when you guys ask me questions, like you can ask me questions about anything from business to relationships to building a team to network marketing to being a single mom to bartending and everything in between. But if I can't help you, the least that I could do is point you in the right direction. Okay, that's the least that I can do. Right. So hopefully these tips would have helped you answer the question of how does social media deal with building relationships? Well, we just answered it. So those are the things that I want you guys to stay focused on. I don't know if you want, I'm going to give it back to Timon so you can do the questions, see who wants to unmute themselves. I have about 5 or 10 minutes. So however many people we get to talk to about that, and I'm yours. Let's do it.
100%. Thank you, Mina. This is insane. The insights and nuggets you gave us, especially this call is 100% for me. In my situation with social media, 100% my call. Thank you so much. So let's get into some questions. Is there anyone? Yeah, Milan has raised his hand. You can raise your hand if you want to talk and get out of your comfort zone a little bit, in English especially, or you can put it in a chat like if you want to. So let's start with Milan to not waste the time. Milan, you can unmute yourself.
Can you hear me? Because I heard some AirPod issues.
Yes.
Okay. So Mina, I have the question. My mom is starting a massage business, and she was asking me if I know someone who makes good websites. So another thing, how could I tell her, or how should she use social media, because she never done anything online?
Okay, so the first thing that your mom needs to sit down is create a social media strategy. Now, I obviously don't have the time to go through all of that right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the tips and I'm going to drop them in the chat of what I would do so that everybody can have them. Give me 1 second. Because this is kind of where she needs to start. Let me, I have so many notes. It is, here it is. Because essentially there's a few things that she needs to focus on, and believe it or not, it's not even including content. It's more about her, or she needs to answer some questions. So I'm going to send it whenever I find it. If I can't find it on this call, I'm going to send it personally to Timon and I'll have him send it to you guys because it's part of my SMX training. But essentially she would need to ask herself questions like, who's my target audience, right? That same little drill that we did earlier. Who's my target audience and what are my content pillars, right? And obviously you need to have her set up what's called an objective. So I found it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this over to you guys. It has.
So it's also on Go Live in your bootcamp, or?
Yeah, I talk about this on my bootcamp. Let me see if I can email it to you, or I'm gonna copy it on my messages, Timon, and you can drop this in your chat.
Yes.
So that everybody has it, because I can't send it on here. It has images included.
That's perfect.
All right, so I sent that to myself. I'm gonna do it now so that I do not forget.
So who have next question in the chat, or raise your hand?
So real quick before I let Milan go, Milan, you're gonna see that in what I sent Timon, you're gonna decide she's gonna need to decide her objective, meaning does she want to grow a bigger audience? Does she want to build a community, or does she want this page to just drive sales and leads for her beauty business? 2, we're going to need to do some audience analysis, which is what I told you, like demographics. What do those people like and dislike in that area? What are their pain points? Is it people in that area? Are they aging? Are they going to want more anti-aging videos and skincare tips and things like that? Then she's going to have to decide something called her value proposition. A value proposition is pretty much what she's going to offer people through her content on Instagram. Once you decide what that is, you're going to make it short, make it sweet, and that's going to be her logo on her bio, right? And then she's going to have to drop valuable content on 4 different things. It needs to be educational, entertaining, relatable, and inspirational. Then you have content planning, additional features. I'm going to send you the last 2 pictures here, Timon. Hold on. Boom. This one. And this one. So if you're planning your content, right? If your objective is to grow a huge audience, you need to focus on sharing more reels, because that's where the algorithm is. If your objective is building a community, then you need to focus on sharing more photos. If your objective is to drive sales and leads, then you need to have a good mix of carousels, reels, and lifestyle. Right. So that's what we need to go back to. And then there's additional features, but I sent everything to them. You should have, you'll have a whole breakdown of it.
Perfect. Thank you. So Johannes and Adela, I think Adela was first. So maybe I will unmute you.
Ja, danke. Hi.
Hey.
So I'm gonna talk for my girlfriend because her English isn't that good, but she isn't really a social media girl or type of girl. She never grew up with social media like me, for example. So she doesn't include social media on her daily basis, but now with social network marketing, she has to, like, kind of. She's like doing baby steps, like checking everyday mails, TikTok content for relatability, but it's like kind of hard to overgo the step, kind of to force herself to do social media.
Okay.
I'm trying to explain to her that she has to reconnect the fun into it, but like for a person who doesn't have the concept of social media like most people nowadays do, it's like hard to imagine a person that's not on social media to explain how to use it. So I have like literally no idea how to say to my girlfriend, do baby steps, because even like, for example, the TikTok language or the hashtag language doesn't make any sense for her because she wasn't spending any time on social media, internet. So it's like a kind of hard step to get her into this kind of new place for her. Yeah.
So I guess what the question, I mean, there's a few questions that I have to like counter with that, which is, what's the end goal? Because you can't tell somebody to do something, right? Like you can't tell her, hey, listen, social media is a thing. You have to, like, nobody's going to be forced into doing anything without seeing why they should. So until she understands why it's important, she's never going to consistently do it, right? So number 1 is fixing her thinking, right? You got to fix your thinking. It can't be, I'm on Instagram because I have to be. It's, I'm on Instagram because I get to be. Think about it like this. Look at how powerful social media is. 5 years ago, I might have had 2,000 followers. Now I have 255. Let's do the math. Okay, let's just do the math. Let's say that I create an online calendar, right? Something very simple, an online calendar. It's going to sell over and over again. It's a PDF. So I make it once and it keeps being re-downloaded. I have 255K. Let's say that I get trash engagement and only half, right, of my followers engage. So now we're looking at 127,000 people. Let's say that I sell this calendar PDF for $4.99. Do you think people will get it for $4.99?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. So I just made about $636,000. If half of my social media bought a $4 to $5 product, that is close to $1 million on a product that is going to keep reselling because it's a PDF. So it's not because I'm not on social media because I have to be on social media. I'm on social media because it brings me this type of opportunity, because it can explode your income, because it could absolutely change your life. It's because you get to. Back in the days, we had to go knocking on doors. You wanted to sell something, you have to go knocking on doors. You wanted to call somebody, you'd have to go to their house to even see if they were home. So look at Instagram and look at social media not as something that you have to do, but the evolution of life. Aren't you happy that, I mean, your girlfriend sitting next to you, the only reason why you guys probably know each other is because of some social network.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain her that it's like kind of her new working space. That's like not exactly.
But don't explain what it is. Explain why it's important. I can't tell somebody, hey, start waking up early without telling them, if you don't, this is what happens. And if you do, this is what happens. So I'm going to tell you, you don't want to take it seriously. Let's just say, I'm not saying you're not, but let's just say you're not as consistent on it. What's going to happen is that you're never going to be able to make this type of money. You're never going to have a community of people following you. You're never going to have a voice. You're never going to have a say, because what I'm predicting is this. 10 years, like, why do you think lawyers are building social media Instagrams? Why do you think air conditioning companies now have an Instagram? Why do you think dentists and law firms are now having somebody build their Instagram account? Why do you think it's so important when you go into a business that you leave them a Google review? Because one day, very, very close from now, you're going to be in your house and you're going to say, hey, Siri, can you find me the top rated dentist in my area? And whoever has the most reviews, the most likes, the more foot trail in the online world is going to get the business. They don't even have to be better than you. But if they're more known than you, there's a lot. Wow, Siri just answered me. But like, there's a lot of boutiques that have better quality than Kim Kardashian's Skims. There's quality on Amazon for half the price, but we know Skims. We know Nike. We know Apple. So that's what we buy, because it's out of sight, out of mind. You could be the best. If I don't know it, you ain't shit. The more people that know you, the better you are. Like, and I can say this, especially, and I'll end it with this. It's so crazy because I go out in Miami, and like, I went out recently, Neno, J.A. Wall, his girlfriend. I walk up, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I walk up and they're all waiting in line. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I didn't build a social media presence online for me to wait in line. If I come to this place and I post that I'm here, and I post a drink, and I post a plate of food, this place is gonna get traffic because of me. I walked into that line and I went to the front. I showed the guy my social media account. I'm like, hi, I'm a Miami influencer. Who is the manager? I need a table. I'm here with 6 people and we're about to drink and have a good time tonight. If I like it, I'll bring more people. Are you guys interested in doing a collaboration with me? In 1 second, they got us in. The line was out the yignyaks. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I built my presence so that I don't have to deal with this. I'm not just another person. So if you want that treatment, if you want that presence, if you want that access, it's not about whether you like social media or not. It's not about whether I liked to day trade or not. It's what's going to get me the best bang for my buck. What's going to set me up for success in the future? And you're more likely to succeed if people know you, like you, trust you, and follow you than not.
That's great.
Because the greatest currency in today's world is not money. It's not even if people are like, oh, attention is the greatest currency. It's not. Influences. You can have all my attention, but if what you're doing doesn't make sense and I'm not influenced by it, you don't have anything but my eyeballs for 10 minutes. I wasted my time. I lost my time. So it's not currency and it's not anything other than influence. Can I influence you to go buy something? Can I influence you to come to my store? Can I influence you to change how you eat? Can I influence you to start going to the gym more? Can I influence you over you? That's the power of social media. It's influence. And the more influence, the more income. That's bottom line. The more influence you have, the more income. Nowadays, I just get paid to go places. I used to pay to go places. Now I get paid to go places, all because I built on social media.
Nice.
Okay.
Is it okay for you to take one or two more questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I think Johannes, you was first. Is the question still? Yeah. Okay.
Adela, I hope you were able to translate all that, by the way.
Yes, I think they understand everything. I record this and we will take all the questions that everything is clear. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
Yes, perfect. So for first, thank you so much, Mina. It was a pleasure.
I
And,
miss you.
Yeah, so much value, really. It was so nice. Thank you so much for first. Yeah, I have a question too. It's related to company social media. So, for example, if you want to build an Instagram account for a company and your target group are other companies, where's the difference in the content you should post and the design the profile needs to have? You know what I mean? It's
So
like,
I'm gonna pull up a PowerPoint that I have here because I want to answer you with it, because I want to teach you guys something that's called pocket content. So I don't know if any of you guys know what pocket content is, but pocket content is here. Let me just pull up my Canva and I'll show you guys what pocket content is. Can I share my screen? Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, cool. You guys see this? This is like my to niche or to not niche PowerPoint, but it's pretty much answering what content pillars are once you already have a defined niche. So this is what you would do if you had a defined niche of a content creator, kind of a defined niche of fitness. So yours would be business. Now, what I want to focus on is the types of video, because you said, what types of content do I make so that I stand out, right, against another business? Or how do I bridge the gap? So there's 3 ways that you can do this. There's search-based content, trending content, and what I like to do if I'm competing is pocket content. Pocket content is seeing the pockets of questions that haven't been answered by that business. So if I'm in fashion and everybody is talking about one specific thing, if everybody's talking about swim week, if everybody's talking about swimwear because we're in summertime, I'm going to see what people are not talking about. So for example, I might talk about how to prep for next year's swim week, because if swim week is already here, the people that didn't prep for it are shit out of luck. So I'm going to start making content about what they're not talking about. Okay, those are that I call it pocket, because you're finding the pockets, you're finding the gaps, you're finding what people are not talking about. And the easiest way to see what people are talking about, which is search-based content, is you go into an existing search engine. Two biggest ones is YouTube and Google, and you let the search engine do its job. So for example, if I'm in fitness and I want to know what people are searching about, I can just go on here and say new mom fitness and let it do its job. New mom fitness classes, new mom routine, new mom programs, new mom exercises, new mom workouts. So these are all topics that people are searching. How to work out as a new mom, fitness for moms near me. So this will tell you, if I put network marketing companies, what is network marketing? What are the different jobs? What's the difference between network marketing and multi-level marketing? What's the network marketing salary? What's the meaning? Are there any books? What's the difference between that and affiliate marketing? This is what people are asking. That's where these little things come up, because they're the most frequently asked questions. If I go on the next biggest search engine and I come on here and I'm like, day trading, boom, day trading for, you don't have content, you don't know what to talk about for your audience, right here, this is what people are looking for. Day trading for beginners, day trading live, day trading strategies, day trading explained, day trading options, day trading for dummies. Like, here are the videos with the questions that you guys need to be answering in your content. So if you're doing a new business, whatever that business is, for example, using Milan's mom's example, you said she was opening up what type of business? It was a beauty salon. Milan, what was
It was about massage, sound massage.
Okay, so sound massage. So this is the content that I would tell her to make. Sound massage for brain, sound massage therapy sleep, sound massage ASMR, sound massage benefits, sound massage relax, beginner, right? You could put beginner and see what's coming up. So that's considered search-based content, is when you're looking to see what people already want the answers to, and you start answering those questions. Pocket content, go to those top 2 or 3 companies, see what they're talking about, and fill in the gaps. So for example, the first person to start talking about threads on YouTube filled the gap, because there was nobody talking about how to use threads on YouTube, right? She did that. The first person that, you know, taught us, like for us girls, like there was never a time when we would do drugstore products versus expensive products, because everybody wanted to make the makeup with the Charlotte Tilbury and makeup by Mario, until one girl was like, hold on, everybody is talking about expensive products. How about I show people how to get an expensive look with regular products? That's pocket content. All these trends that you guys are seeing comes from pocket content. People trend off of talking and creating things that other people are not doing. It's simple as that.
Great.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All righty.
We are well over time, but the
got
last
it.
question, the
Last
last
question.
hand, Basti.
Thank you, Mina. Thank you so much.
Yourself. And thank you, Mina, for your time. Of course, 100%.
You got it.
Basti, you can go. Or Tim.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
My question would be, what is the best way to approach people in the public space and to ask them if they want to be a part of your like social media videos or pictures? Because I have a project where we go into public, we build up our it's like a little stand about hookahs, and we often struggle to ask people if they want to be part of a video or part of a picture we are taking of the thing we're doing. For me, it's kind of connected to social anxiety a little bit, like just approach to talk to people, but I don't know, do you have like any tips or tricks to talk people into being a part of what you're actually doing so that other people can see that it's not just us three doing what we love, but also other people enjoying what we do?
Okay, cool. So you uh, just so that I understand exactly what you're doing. So like you're outside, you're going up to random people and asking them like dating questions or hookup questions.
No,
Is it
it's like little festivals in towns. So for example, here in Saxony where I live, there are like always the city festivals, and there we rent like, I don't know, 12 square meters where we can build up our stand, and we are there for the weekend. And
Okay.
if the people are like approaching the stand, asking us questions, or sitting and enjoying the services we provide, I'm the like social media manager of our account, and it's my task to take videos and pictures of what we do. And I would like to bring the random people who are visiting our place into this, and not just us three
When you
talking about what we do.
Mina, it's like a tent for hookahs, not hookups. It's hookahs.
got
like
it. So like
shisha.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, now, now she's,
Das war
she's
der Akku. Ich hab's dir noch gesagt. Er ist noch gedacht, ich habe oben gesehen, so Akku fast weg. Ich so, ja, Akku weg.
Yeah. Maybe she will join with the phone. But guys, this is crazy. Also der Call, was da an Insights dabei waren, ist krass. Ich schau mal, ob sie gleich jetzt nochmal kurz reinkommt. Okay, perfekt. Mina schreibt, Tim, du hast den Glücksgriff so, wir machen nochmal einen kurzen Call mit Mina und dir. Schedulen wir noch was, um die Frage zu beantworten. Ja, verschieben das dann im Endeffekt. Gut, ich werde mich auf jeden Fall nochmal bei Mina bedanken. Also ihr Laptop ist ausgegangen, kaputt gegangen, Batterie leer. Aber danke euch, dass ihr so lange auch am Start wart. Ich hoffe, ihr habt es nicht bereut, auf dem Call gewesen zu sein. Es war ein absolut heftiger Call. Guys, also erstens geht auf Conventions, um mit so Leuten zu connecten. Das ist nochmal meine erste Message. Und zweitens, nutzt Social Media für euch. Ich hoffe, ihr konntet einiges rausziehen. Vielleicht können wir in Zukunft, wenn da jetzt was daraus resultiert und wir ein paar Results kreieren und so weiter und ich das mit Mina sharen kann, vielleicht nimmt sie sich dann auch gern nochmal die Zeit für einen Call, wo wir weiter dran anknüpfen können. Aber ich glaube, da braucht es dann einfach ein bisschen Umsetzung so, dass die da auch Bock drauf hat, dass sie sieht, okay, wir nutzen das Ganze und machen was draus. Ich glaube, da kann man einiges draus machen mit dem, was gerade gesagt ist. Ich hoffe, ihr habt euch Notizen gemacht. Das Recording haben wir natürlich auch in der Tasche. Schaut es euch gerne nochmal an. Ich werde es auf jeden Fall tun, weil für mich waren wirklich einige Sachen dabei. Ich habe natürlich alles mitgeschrieben, aber man kann tausende Sachen nochmal da rausziehen. Genau, vielleicht Profile anschauen oder so. Vielleicht kann man da was machen. Also ich glaube, wenn wir da jetzt ein bisschen was umsetzen, ein paar Results kreieren, wird Mina sich bestimmt nochmal die Zeit nehmen. Sie ist eine absolut Hammerfrau und gibt gerne, wie man jetzt gemerkt hat, wir sind weit über der Zeit, weit über der Stunde, die wir eigentlich, oder 45 Minuten Stunde, die wir eingeplant hatten. Deswegen markiert Mina auf Social Media. Ich hoffe, der eine oder andere hat vielleicht ein Video gemacht und markiert sie auf Social Media, postet euer Nugget da rein, dass die sieht, dass wir das Ganze appreciaten und wertschätzen. Das wäre auf jeden Fall sehr, sehr nice, wenn das hier 20 Leute hier auf dem Call noch machen könnten. Und ja, dann sind wir, glaube ich, durch für heute Abend. Ich wünsche euch allen einen wunderschönen Abend und ja, einen guten Start in die neue Woche, gute Profite, gute Performance auf Social Media und happy Sign-ups. Bis dahin, schönen Abend.